Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ira Manuel, the host of My Story, a Lugari DTTC production. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have one of the best and of our own in the institution. But alongside me is my confused co-host. Karibu sana.
Asante. As you've heard, manze, mi ndio the confused co-host, as it turns out. Mnanijua, Dominic Taifa, for those of you who don't know me.
Yeah.
And today, like he said again, tuko na wageni wetu hapa very special. Yeah, sasa kuna haja mimi wa introduce kweli siwaji introduce?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Nadifa Angatia. I welcome you all to this show.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Viola. I don't know how special, but I'm glad to be here.
So ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to dive into a lot of topics that need to be addressed in the issue.
Yeah.
And nakumbuka the last time we were here, it was Ira Manuel, Taifa Dominic, and John Mlando. We are discussing on mental awareness.
Yeah.
And we actually looked at the perspective of a man.
Yeah.
But today we have rather different topics we want to discuss about life. You see, life is fun.
Yeah.
And I believe that a suite of us.
Hey, ndugu yangu, no punguza kizungu is too much.
Okay, basi sema. Nilikuwa nasema.
No, wewe sema tu. Wewe sema, lakini punguza makali.
Nilikuwa nasema kwamba kila wakati tunapotembea katika maisha yetu tunakutana na mambo ya kushtua, mambo mengine yanatusaidia, mengine hayatusaidii. Ndugu yangu, ni mambo gani ambayo tukumbana nayo kwa hii dunia ambayo kidogo like this is not important to me but I have to go through it.
I have to go through it.
Yes.
Dichotomous.
What about that? Tell us about. Do you remember the dichotomous scheme, madam? What was it?
Ilikuwa subject gani? Unajua inakuwa na bora. Sembuse wewe, ashasikia jibu.
Wewe unataka kusema chemistry.
Yeah.
But above all, karibuni sana kwa show yetu. Today we just want to discuss about when your life you go. And first and foremost, let me just say it's always an honor. By the way, this one is one of the prominent people. Ulisimama kura, by the way. Yeah, nimekumbuka tu.
Kusimama alisimama.
Simama, kura naye alisimama.
Nikapewa kiti. Nikaketi.
Kaambia okay, hapo nimekaa. Siende sana, just sit there. But how was the experience?
Right. I thought it was a good start for me.
By failing.
Not by failing. My competitor didn't give me a big range. And so I felt I had some big assignments. I felt good. However,
yeah, that's the part I was waiting. Yeah.
Sio kitu rahisi. You can't take kushindwa kindly.
Yeah, uwezi.
I felt like this year I was hugging people around concerning myself, but I really felt good having given that.
You see, Taifa, this one reminds me of another one who failed and went home.
Hata mmoja wa release matokeo.
Ndio mapema. But losing is bad. Anyway, talking of losing, how is winning?
It's very sweet, very very disturbing.
Now I know why you call these two.
We have to get both stories.
Yeah.
Lazima to understand mwenye kuko.
Yes.
And
back to you anyway.
Yes, you are telling us.
Yeah, winning is very sweet actually. The feeling that people trust you and the ability to be able to represent people at
but
a
you
level.
are not voted here.
I know, right? But
A win is a win.
The face of the school. A win is a win.
Surviving is winning. Okay, and you also won your elections. Unfortunately, you are against yourself, right?
No, I wasn't. I had a competitor.
Nah, you cannot actually.
Okay, on paper.
On paper,
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah, not on ground.
On the
But
ground.
unfortunately, electing you was as good as not. It was actually.
No. I've done things, my brother. I've done things.
What things?
I'm just working behind the scenes. You know, good leaders don't do things so that they are seen or recognized. Hallelujah.
Good leaders.
A good leader leads people to do what needs to be done. So I lead people. DSTV si inalipiwa?
I don't know because I'm not.
Exactly. You don't even watch TV, so you're not in a position.
Do you?
I do, brother.
You don't?
I do.
Do you have one?
Brother, the question should be which type of TV? Because I have many.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have many.
Yeah.
In just some few minutes from now, you'll be offline. But anyway, above all, since your time mpaka saizi, how do you see yourself in this institution? Ama you've risen above it, and in one way or the other, do you feel like the task would have been hard on you, ama you just feel like it is what it is? Because I'm so sure kuna zile vitu kadhaa unaweza shughulika nazo zenye bado hazirana.
Yeah, given the opportunity, I think I would have made some simple important changes.
Simple important changes.
Yeah.
Tatua.
Hata hivyo, the fact that I didn't get in there has really given me a lot of peace. I don't think I would have handled the pressure that not exams, the pressure during sports.
Oh yeah.
I think it was too much, and then attitude, among other things.
I am telling you,
Yeah.
I was also exposed to working without being elected, and I felt like if this is how it feels without being elected, how would it feel if I were
Elected.
the one elected?
Yeah.
I thought
you were elected to become the ladies what?
Netball ladies captain.
Yes, netball ladies captain.
That was an honor.
At least you had a position. Hiyo nayo. Ulijituma. Ulijituma nani unajituma ni venye watu waonani.
Na ladies wakiulizwa watasema Yule anajituma yes, lakini wenye wanajitumia
at the same time kitu tunauliza ni okay, ulijituma yes, mlifika wapi? How was the going for ground sasa? Mambo ilikuwa hatari.
Walifika venue.
Just tell us what made it so.
I think the attitude of our players, being exposed to some negativity. Like when I say today, mtapewa bread haijaiva. 2 months to sports. Then that is what we plant in our brains.
Oh yeah.
We'll go there and the players will not eat. The players will not bathe because wataambiwa maji yako huko yanawasha.
Yeah.
Ngoja. Pia bet.
Kuoga pia.
I'm bringing it on. Wait.
Okay.
The tea. They'll tell you they used unga wa kupika chapati. And then our girls would not take the meals. They would just be there watching. How would you play without taking your meals?
It's hard.
But it was just a mind game.
Yeah.
So it became really difficult, and having not been in this school the previous year, we did not know what to expect. We did not know whether it was true or not.
Yeah.
So my ladies were just missing meals, not knowing the effects. And that was it.
And here we are.
Number
You are number 5 out of 6.
Na wewe wa 6 alikuwa absent.
Wewe wa 6
absent. Out of 8. Yeah, I fear losing, but that was it.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good team.
No, actually you had a good team.
You had a great team.
We had a hungry team.
You once came and saw them play, right? Unaweza sema walikuwa na good team ama wako na good team.
They had a good team.
Yes.
Good is even an understatement.
Unaweza ona tu wewe now okay, she's talking as a player who was in the pitch. Now can you just address it as someone who's from a distance?
Personally, from a distance, I think they didn't put in much effort. Yeah. I think mngejituma. The kujituma part. Maybe alikuwa anajituma, but the rest were not. So working peke yako, it's quite hard.
Yeah.
Sasa wewe kama Miss Lugari wa shule, are you ashamed of them or proud of them, or rather you just celebrate them because they are your daughters?
Yeah, the fact that they represented us. Umesikia kuna wenye walikuwa absent, they didn't appear. So the fact that hao walimake kuappear,
Siwadanganye.
But pia wajikaze man.
Next year nataka trophies. Zitakuja, we need trophies.
Yeah.
And also, as much as my co is also addressing the issues here, is one of the reasons we do not manage. First,
mimi nimetokea pia kwa history. Mimi nilikuwa ladies team.
Tunaongelea men team. We've come to your end, brother.
Yeah.
Tuambie what happened. Because nakumbuka nikupea the first 3 passes and you actually just not doing what you are supposed to. It was a very chukua to ball wake up.
Asa if it were that simple, yes. I don't think many people would have run away from it. I was the only person willing, soldiering on despite Again, it was my first time playing netball, and it was my first time kuingia hadi kwa pitch kwa such an important game. So you can imagine the tension and the pressure. Whether you guys are giving me pressure. So mimi niko na pressure yangu internally ya nafaa nifunge. It looks easy ukiwa nje. Si kijana mrefu sasa.
Mimi naongea kama niko ndani.
Yeah, so for the viewers. Yeah. Kwanza hawa wasichana, walikuwa napiga nduru. Funga. Hey.
But how
Too much pressure.
The pressure is, if you don't
But anyway, as I was asking about the platonic, is that
yeah, that's the word.
The platonic relationships in this institution. Do you think that has it actually helped you in one way or the other? Have you created? Do you have those individuals that you're so certain that when you come out of this place, you'll actually have a good place tomorrow because some people link you? How much say you are just that introverted person who doesn't feel like you need people?
Okay, not really be introverted.
Yeah.
I tried to make the friendship thing and
not
to
friendly.
gain like kusaidiana.
Yeah.
There are people you see stars in them, but after some time wanazima nyota, unabaki ni kama unaona giza.
Sasa inakaa yao ni kudhani kweli.
Yeah.
Ama eros.
You see, okay, let's just put it this way.
Yes.
Like there's a star in someone, you feel like if you're in his or her life, you'd help them grow.
Yeah.
And them being in your life has also helped you, and you can testify that they have helped you.
Yeah.
But there's this thing that kills this kind of friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to elevate, trying to make it trying to rename it, trying to give it a different title.
Tumeingia penye nilikuwa nasema. Umeona sasa usimuona.
So in short wewe yeah.
I don't really think it has to be
Elevated.
Let's keep it
platonic.
Let's keep it.
No, kuna kitu imeni intrigue up intrigue.
You've been triggered.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Kuna mtu alikuwa anataka she sounded like she's speaking from experience.
Yeah, it was
vivid description. Tuambie tu.
Wewe usiseme wewe.
I am 40 years old. Even if it's not.
Ngoja ni serious.
It's very serious, 40. Being in this institution.
Director, maliza show. I thought we were interviewing you. Tuna interview women rep.
Yes.
Okay. The years I have lived on
at 40.
So it is just the same inside here and outside here.
But advice these young people.
Mic drop.
For women, it is really difficult to make such relationships.
Damn.
Ama zile zingine. But for
whichever it is.
Siko ubaya. Okay, I understand when you mesimama, but my question is, you are in LDTTC, in short, you are in a college. As much as you are looking for the core business here, kwanza ni academics. Hizi mambo ya eros na nini. I think these are things that we should just have them, but we don't actually need to accommodate them around here. The issue is this. Let me be very clear. I want to make myself very clear that these relationships are there because people are mature and people are grown up. Right?
We are talking about platonic relationships.
No. I want to get it because amesema ya kwamba we have the platonic that has to be elevated. Now my point is this, that we'll have relationships and we'll have people.
Yeah.
But this one is not supposed to affect the core mandate of your presence in this institution. So whichever, whenever, however, you should not actually touch a don't touch me tree. And if you know that it's touched and it will be affected, why would you bother getting into its business?
Andika hiyo. Type hiyo.
Ongea sasa kwa Kiswahili.
What I mean is, we'll have the platonic relationships, which are very okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes the growth of platonic relationship gives rise
to
a different kind of direction. And wakati wenye hiyo type inaanza kuingia ndani, in most cases, especially when you're in the same institution, in most of the times hiyo inagonga mwamba. Ikishagonga mwamba, so nyinyi wenye mlikuwa kimoja mnataka
mkue kimbili,
nyinyi sasa mkiwa wawili mwanze ku affect maisha ya watu wengine. So you start being the cohesive forces around people, which is wrong. Yes. So point yangu ni Kama mama mind biashara yako, wewe mind tu biashara yako. Unapata? Kama hizo vitu simulipana mko wawili, kaeni tuko. Like msianze kuaffect watu wengine kama academics za wase wengine issues again. I think that's just some nonsense according to my perspective. You get me, isn't it? But as I was saying, kuna wase kadhaa wenye we have good people in this place. People can elevate you and take to the next level. But the moment mnasema to the next level ya relationship, it's inaharibika. So don't get yourself there.
Okay. In as much as we shouldn't get there, let's all learn that there is no reverse. If you get there, don't get there. Because if you get there, there is no reverse. You cannot go back to being friends again.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, you can.
You can.
You can.
You can.
You
can.
The same pool here.
When you're friends and then he tries to elevate and you don't want it.
No. Not the case. Elevates and it's successful. Then it hits a rock and hard place, then it breaks down. It still can be. It depends on the maturity.
Hapo hata kama ni maturity.
Depends with maturity.
Hakuna cha easy for you to say. These things are easier said than done. It's easier for you to say than done.
Easier said, it's actually applicable.
Trust me, the freedom you have with your friend Taifa.
No, tunatoka male females. Mimi
it's friendship for all of us.
Yes.
You and I are friends.
Yeah, tutumie nini kama example.
I never knew, but now I know.
That's for example. But if you elevate it, I will not be as free with you as I was before. There are things I might not expose to you the way I used to when you were my friend.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, that's
so it can never be the same. Despite the fact that we would pretend that we have reversed, now we're just friends.
Yeah, it can never be the same.
Friends. No, it cannot.
Give me a high five. For once we agree. Thank you.
It cannot be the same.
I'll tell them the truth.
Actually, I feel it can be the same.
Oh God.
Personally, I feel it can be the same. Maturity, like the way you handle things. Like for example, vile umesema when Manu your friends, then you decide to elevate it. The decision is not Manu's.
Just a minute. Example.
Yeah.
Example.
A good example.
Okay.
So like deciding is not Manu deciding, it's both of you deciding to elevate the relationship. So the fact that you can reach a point and say like, man, it's not working. You both can see it's not working. Why not just go back and be the friends you are? Because
I'll tell you why not. I'll tell you that's why not. I'll tell you why not.
Yes. Why not?
It depends on the circumstances under which that friendship, that relationship ended. If you guys ended on bad terms.
But the point is, it can go back.
No, it depends.
No.
Most likely.
What if the circumstances are good?
Yeah. Most relationships end. Ndo end inamaanisha it's ending at a very bad point. Mmekosana, you're ending on bad terms.
End on bad terms.
It doesn't have to. Just because it doesn't have to doesn't mean it doesn't.
So it's a 50-50.
So it's more like 80-20.
No.
Because 80% of the times in ending on bad terms.
So that I can cook you well.
Yeah.
Most of the times, more often than not, zinaishanga on bad terms, right? So it will be very hard for you to go back to being the friends you are. And if you know that you're talking of maturity kwanza hapa you are hurting, unaumia, you are dealing with this, tena useme una come back to how it was kukua friendship just to cover up for the wacha ni cook
pole basi
kaparo hata ukue machua aje hapana no.
Lakini ndio mimi najua living si necessarily at it a hurt. Sometimes living asa ndio inafanya una heal. Like nyinyi mnachukulia living as in live to it has to be bad and that and chaos and sometimes being in a relationship hurts. So sometimes you just say like it's better to live. Yeah, you see, you're in a relationship and it's not peaceful. You feel like I'm not being fair to this person and he's not even being fair to me. So you decide like instead of us forcing these issues and we can just live peacefully. See, I live, you live, and then we remain friends.
Ushauri tu ukilive, hasa ndo anaanza kugrow vizuri, unamwona tu unajam, una click.
That's now jealous talking. That's jealousy talking.
I'm human. I'm only human.
Okay, glowing.
But I'm only human.
Is important. Glowing is important, but trust me, how you end yours is not the same way I end mine.
Exactly.
But a good percentage of the ends
inakuanga bad, si ndio? Give me another high five.
You just dated the wrong people.
No.
You just had bad
relationships from our experience.
No.
You
just had bad experiences.
Let me address this one. Because let me cook. And I think that you guys are going to be served with the best recipe of the day. A few seconds later. So this is my point. That maturity It's a decision.
Yeah.
You can either choose to be mature or you can choose to be immature.
Yeah.
The experiences and the knowledge we gain make us mature, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes in life you have to, one of my principles is I wish to understand people more than let people understand me.
Yeah.
And that is to make sure that we have some people who I know the way they behave and act, I can actually manage that one. And it's so hard when someone can manage me. So in most cases, instead of explaining myself to people, oh, there's this and that and that and that, I would rather be the one understanding your point. You get me?
Yeah.
When we come to a standstill in a relationship, or we take sides, I think the best thing you have to do is call yourself for a meeting and console yourself. Take time.
Yeah.
This will help you to ease out and ooze out all the pain that you'll have. Then after that point, as much as it will be hurting, I think it has to reach to a point where it's not you walking or working with your emotions, but rather working with your decisions.
Logic.
Yes, logic. And this is where a lot of men mess it up. Because once we have crossed paths with someone, we end up demeaning them, seeing them as devils or whatever, trash talking and all those things. I think one thing I always put in my head is, as much as this person is not there right now, once upon a time they were the most important people in my life. And the respect I'll always have with them will make me make peace with them, even if they don't want to make peace with me. I have to be the center of all this. And the way you carry yourself, the way you compose yourself, the way you become will actually determine whether this person will even want to be a friend or not a friend. So I think the maturity in you will determine whether you guys can go back to being friends, or rather you'll just become babies who will be crybabies every now and then, denying others of the opportunities. So my point is, you take time, you heal yourself, then you see if you can heal the other party. But as much as you try healing the other party, you have to make sure that you have a class, you are a step higher. That's when you can actually stretch your hand and help. Because you cannot just cross paths today, then tomorrow you're friends. That cannot work.
Exactly.
You take time to heal yourself, so that when you come back, you see them as just friends. You can still stretch your hand and hold them and support them. But one thing I can say for a fact is do not read the same book twice. The ending will never change.
Thank you.
The experience will be different.
The
ending will never ever change. So don't go back. Respect, move, support.
Just you see, from your point, you're very right, and I agree with you 1,000%. What most people, you cooked. What most people seem not to get is the fact that you've mentioned it's not easy. You can't just kosana today and tomorrow. And what also some people don't get is, just because you guys were having a thing going on and then you're not together anymore, you don't have to trash talk, right? I respect you, of course, right? Let me use her as an example. How much will you so of course I respect you. I won't trash talk you or do anything. In as much as it would be hard for me to now go back to being a friend, it doesn't mean hata si lazima tukue tunaongeleshana, but point ni hiyo respect na hiyo ibaki. Exactly.
The difference here now is not, there's friendship and being human. I can help you, but trust me, I might not be your friend.
I'm not your friend. I even doubt if you're my friend.
I'll find you being beaten, I'll cover you. I'll find you drowning, I'll help you. But again, trust me,
I'm not your friend.
For me, that is for me. I don't wanna be your friend. I'm not gonna share my life with you.
One thing I think we need to agree on that is the fact that this is one thing I tell people, that just because you have a large circle and a lot of people does not mean that they are your friends.
They're just people that know you.
Or you are just, those are just people you know. But secondly also, sometimes people depict relationships as actions. If you're actually supporting me, you're my friend. You get my point? Yes, if you find people are beating me and you help, why are you helping if you're my enemy? You are my friend. Actually, you must be my friend.
Friendship
enemy. You are an enemy. Actually, enemies.
You're not
Yes.
agreeing. I'm knowing that today.
Let me tell you one thing. We have to reach to a point in life. Okay, this is my worst part, which I actually don't like discussing. It reaches to a point in life where we have black and white, not gray. So whatever you're giving me, okay. Now this is what I'll say to me. These ones are the examples of the narcissistic behavior. I want this one to think well. This one is now a narcissist. Someone who uses everything around, trying to give you. Okay, you are not my boyfriend, right? You are not my girlfriend. You are not my friend.
Okay, he needs water. My cousin is too much. This guy needs water.
I don't know. Are you getting my point? You are not my friend. Why are you there for me? Why are you standing there? And you are giving me mixed reactions, giving me green flags, you're giving me orange. You are not being human. You are a narcissist because
sips water.
Yes.
It's too much, woman. It's too much. Healing energy on you.
Yes, I think now I think I can take it slowly. So when we talk about a narcissist, someone who will use everything around you to manipulate. You get me? And whatever you're doing at that point, as my ex, you're manipulating me.
Okay.
Hey.
Because the actions, wait first, because whatever you're doing is something a friend is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But you're doing it and claiming to be my enemy. You are actually preaching water and drinking wine.
Is there a difference between rafiki yangu and mwenzangu?
It depends the context. That's where the context comes in.
Sasa being mwenzangu,
according to you,
mwenzangu just makes me happy. Trust me.
And that is
mwenzangu
a relationship
nitakusaidia.
Context ya mapenzi.
Lakini
hiyo sasa tunaita a narcissist.
sasa huyo alikuwa anaongelea from a general point of view. Yani just being human. Kama ni ile for example nataka kununua mandazi canteen, ni 10 bob, ni Koles na 3 bob. Anijui hata si atanisaidia tu. So that's what she's saying. Okay, you didn't have to use his real life situation.
Director cut. Maliza hiyo sababu we are becoming but don't I understand penye yako but so you come notice I may digress from the main point of your relationship. This is general life. We're talking about people who have been and are no longer.
Yeah.
If you do whatever you're doing kusaidia au sio unampigia simu una video call unamwambia uko aje tu.
Unafanya nini tena baya?
Checking up on you.
He wants to chill you. In fact, if they mmekosana on butter, you've ended it and he still views your status, he still calls you, he still checks up on you, he wants to chill you. He wants to chill you.
We are not checking.
Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this conversation is long and bigger and I think that we cannot just dig deeper as it's supposed to be.
You can't chew it.
Literally.
Because we want some.
But by the way, you guys wamekuwa sawa nguvu sana. Naona time yetu run vibaya sana. Of which nilikuwa nataka kuleta context ya communication maadhi. Wakati watu wako kimoja, people need to learn how to communicate. Tukisema hizo vitu zote kwa this episode tutakosa episodes. We are shooting another episode just now in the next 5 minutes. We are proceeding with the conversation. But for the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, this is my story, Alugari D TTC production.